In post-conflict northern Uganda, it is important to consolidate peace and support people working on rebuilding their lives. How does this work out in practice? The film shows a food security intervention by Dutch relief agency ZOA. In periods of long-term political instability and uncertainty, people struggle hard to secure their livelihoods and economic activities. International organisations are committed to supporting local people's efforts. They find that it is a challenge to make the connection with what people need. From 1986 onwards, northern Uganda experienced a period of prolonged civil war. Over 1.8 million Ugandans were displaced from their villages and spent years in internally displaced person camps, relying on relief aid. When peace began to be restored in 2006, people were allowed to move back home. They started rebuilding their lives, assisted by various aid agencies.
The war in northern Uganda, it was a complicated war. There were several reasons given for it, but what was very clear is that there was large-scale displacement of the population from their villages into internally displaced persons camps. This was what the government referred to as protected villages. Secondly, there was a lot of violence, maiming in and out of the camps.
Makodano kinero kene ki maka chero kere ramu lalo lum mu ki ton ki panga yo marejo mu ki goy ki lek nero ki goy ki lek nero mu kene ki wan wi wa wan a awero maka tel gun get gele tok de ya po uteme jo arwa kinero be shiro ki kam.
Winnie Wairimu is a Kenyan doctoral student at Wageningen University working in cooperation with ZOA. Between 2010 and 2012, she spent 20 months in Padere district in northern Uganda investigating questions such as how do returning households seek to become food secure, and how did ZOA's intervention support them in their efforts?
My research looks at food security and livelihoods. So I follow households as they return from camps back to their villages and how they try to rebuild their lives, but within the sector of food security and livelihoods.
Yes, please. Oh, yeah. I'm okay.
So I followed a couple of households over a long period of time, trying to see changes in their households, their interaction with aid interventions, what they thought about these activities that they were getting involved in, and how this links up to their own perspectives of what should be happening.
How things have been?
Yeah, it was okay. You're most welcome in my place.
Thank you so much.
Dul me zone kar ma wan dong obino ma dong area kan down ti duong chi wa no report keyboard won com LC1 ma megwa ma wajo ni dul mo ti kabino me rwate kedwa en dule ano na edo beruzo ma dong go bino che go kelo program ge go tiero program wa ge che go tietewa kit magene bitiu kere ke magoba ngo ma wan bi no kom tich anoni
Kyoto ti saka kere yo me jo go bien la diet bi o bien bot LC et ka meto dano anu piara dek ba ka sak tongu guri si LC sakar wero dano.
I think that food security is, let's say, the key pillar under our program. So I believe that if you would set up this project in a smart way, you could actually achieve multiple goals at the same time. So what we did, we combined working on the roads, so establishing infrastructure, giving access to inputs, but also establishing a market.
Since 2007, Zoa Uganda has been helping people who are returning to their homes after displacement. Food security is one of the themes they work on. Within this theme, the organisation implemented a Voucher for Work programme in Padere district. This programme is based on empowering people through providing access to agricultural inputs, including seeds and tools. They are given vouchers in exchange for labour invested in community assets, such as the construction of access roads, which are redeemable at seed fairs.
Yeah, the basic principle of in vouchers for work is that at the end of the day, a household, a target beneficiary, must have access to seeds as a startup. Why vouchers for work? We would have given people money to go and buy seeds, but the practice is that they don't really use the money well. So instead, a farmer has to work for 80,000 Ugandan shilling worth of seeds. Then we print vouchers, and then we organize what we call the seed fair. When we organize the seed fair, we call seed vendors. They come, and then they bring the seed. Farmers come with their vouchers, and that is a trade.
Labour is often assumed to be a resource that the poor have readily available. However, this is not always the case, as this female-headed household shows. Grace even opted out of the programme.
Sa no dia ga ko pu mai kan pa poro dana no ka titi hana takati pu mai kan pa poro dang kar in ma wari ka tisu karo ga ko pu ano takati kinyo wel ono te takati nga jomo ber ka sare e guno jom bejo ato wan jo ma wo bir ka tongo gurle balu kawa pa wa no ma be nga wel jem bir tek pa nga jem ko ne no ga saro muranga le no le alibare yo nyim gele no me le alibase le mi bi si wa no jem ne wel bir tek e wa no balu kawa jo ma dong go ber ka sat e go no ma be en.
Right, from 2007 and on, we had challenges as we were implementing the Vouchers for Work project. We are aware of the critics, and because the farmers kept on coming to us and complaining because the prices are very high. But we told them the difference between seeds and food. You can go to the market and buy food, but a seed is a seed. It's properly made, and then it has to put some value. Secondly, we call vendors from Gulu. Gulu from here is around 50-something kilometers. The cost must be input. So we agree with the farmers that no, these people need to put something. And then before we start buying, we sit with the farmers. The vendors come, the farmers come, they agree on the price in the market. Therefore, teacher, I'm be my caroro, care teacher what care. And then I'll tell you, madam, I don't chuck to more. Or did you know lock from chilling, madam, won't get it here. Cast them when my bear, madam. Now, Mauro, my banner here, or below. But I'll tell you, member tech, because any man don't get a make you. Maka on kind of shortcut here.
The willingness of a household to participate in the program was measured in terms of its contribution, and the contribution was labor. There was an assumption that labor is easily available for participation in the program, and mostly for the public works, their contribution in the rebuilding of community assets. Households that did not have enough labor, first of all, were technically locked out. Secondly, those who thought they could generate some labor to participate At the point when they realized that this is taking much longer and a lot of their labor compared to participating in other activities, they also ended up dropping out.
We assumed that an increase of volume of production would result in a higher income for the farmers and would therefore contribute to the well-being. What we did not realize in that period was the factor of labor. So we just assumed that labor was free and was just available without limitation. And actually, labor always has a price. Not for all the people it was suitable to just work for a voucher without getting cash, since there were a number of widows with children who needed the cash urgently, so they stepped out of the project.
Kuoma mega tika guacole, benga tika mediki fu, war ulugamu kene, luku bigi nyimgi le tika puole. Kawaga kuo, kasi kene gansa pom ya sijen le leje, kawaga kuo kilten. Sa kene ton yare, wa maka, ka wiri gansa kilten.
Gino we wana tamu ni umiro mete ki beri group pien fony ma pol aber ka nongone matutwale uber ka mina kero nyo der ma pat me fu kiet me pietone kidon kiet me gwakone wa fonyo kidon kar mene ma umiro wa ket kore anoni pe meno ke ken poro mugo fu mo ken chala muranga gini bene ke min wa ngech kiet me pietone line kiet me spacing ngo gini anoni jamne ano wa ber ka time
The design of the Food Security Project was developed by the country office in Kampala in close collaboration with the district staff. This is a process that involves negotiation with donor organizations and a search for the best approach.
Every year we prepare a program in which we outline what we want to do the next year. However, we can only implement the program if we have projects which are funded by donors. If you have a project, you enter into a contract with a donor, so you have a contract conditions which you are bound to. So some donors have their principles, so they say we don't want cash transfer to beneficiaries, or we only want to be in agriculture, not in livestock. Next to that, it's not only, let's say, the donors that somehow limit our flexibility. There was also too little understanding about what the war, the camps, had done to the people. So the risk-averse attitude of the farmers was not understood well, and as a consequence of that, there might have been a mismatch between what we offered and what was needed.
Food security or implementing food security interventions in a post-conflict context is complicated because one, people's needs are changing every other day. As people return back home, they're trying to rebuild their lives. Food is important, but also education, healthcare is important. So when there is an assumption that people can focus on food as the main priority, then there is a mismatch between what is implemented and what people want.
We see lessons that we have learned. we discovered farmers don't look at our project as project. They look as a project as a means of survival. For us, we look at projects like these are trial, these are maybe proposal. They don't look at that. They look at opportunity. How best can I benefit as of now? That is what the farmers do. What can I do for my family? Yes, there's this NGO has come. What can they offer? If you come and they see the trickle-down effect to the family is long, they will run away from it. So what the farmer is saying, to reach my family takes long. For the seeds to reach my family takes long. For the money to reach my family takes 2 years. It's means of survival. So that is the lessons we have learned. We understand. So as of now, we do it from what they call the knowledge point. Yes, in the next phase of design, we cater into it, we factor these kind of things inside.
In post-conflict areas that change rapidly, it is a continuous challenge to tailor interventions to local efforts and concerns. SOA shows that it is important to find ways to keep adapting programs to poor people's changing needs.